The first day at a new school is always tough, but for 17-year-old Maya, it was about to become a living nightmare. As she walked down the crowded hallway of Northgate High, a sea of unfamiliar faces stared back. Whispers followed her like a shadow. She tried to ignore them, keeping her head down, her worn-out backpack slung over one shoulder. Maya wasn't like the other kids. She'd spent most of her life moving from base to base, her father's military career dictating her childhood. This time, though, it was supposed to be different. Her dad had retired, and they were finally putting down roots. The school's self-proclaimed royalty was a trio led by a guy named Jake. He was the captain of the karate team, a local champion with a black belt and an ego to match. Flanking him were his two loyal cronies, Mark and Chris, both equally arrogant and eager to please their leader. Teisa Maya, the quiet new girl, as fresh prey. It started small. A trip in the hallway. Books scattered across the floor. Laughter echoed as Maya scrambled to pick them up. Then came the taunts. Scribbled notes left on her locker, and a constant barrage of cruel jokes. Maya never reacted. She just took it. Her face, an unreadable mask. Her silence only seemed to fuel their desire to break her. They couldn't understand her lack of fear, her unsettling calmness. To them, she was weak, a perfect target for their twisted games. The bullying escalated day by day. One afternoon in the cafeteria, Jake accidentally spilled a tray of food all over her. The entire room erupted in laughter as she stood there, covered in lukewarm chili. Still, she didn't cry. She simply walked away, her posture straight, her dignity intact. This infuriated Jake. How could she not break? He decided he needed to up the ante. He cornered her after school near the gym. "Hey, new girl," he sneered, his friends blocking her only escape route. "I heard you're pretty tough." "Too tough to even cry." Maya just looked at him, her eyes calm and steady. "Leave me alone, Jake." Her composure was the final straw. "Oh, she speaks," Jake mocked. "You think you're something special, don't you? Let's see how special you are when you can't even stand." He looked at Mark and Chris. "She needs a lesson in respect, close Aiden." Jake threw the first punch, aiming for her face. But something unexpected happened. In a blur of motion, Maya sidestepped, his fist whistling past her ear. She moved with a grace and precision that was startling. Before Mark and Chris could even react, she had used Jake's own momentum against him, twisting his arm behind his back and forcing him to his knees with a sharp, controlled movement. He cried out in pain. Mark and Chris stared in shock for a second before lunging at her. It was a mistake. Maya moved like a whirlwind. A swift kick disarmed Mark, sending him stumbling backward. A precise jab to a pressure point in Chris's shoulder made his arm go numb, and he crumpled to the ground. It was over in less than 10 seconds. The three self-proclaimed kings of the school were on the floor, groaning, while Maya stood over them, not even breathing hard. She hadn't even broken a sweat. She looked down at Jake, her expression still unreadable. "I said, leave me alone." Then she turned and walked away as if nothing had happened, leaving them stunned and humiliated in her wake. Word of the incident spread through the school like wildfire. The story got bigger and more dramatic with each telling. She took on the whole karate team. She didn't even get a scratch. Jake and his friends became a laughingstock. Their reign of terror was over, but a new mystery began. Who was Maya? The answer came in a way no one expected. A few weeks later, the school held a career day assembly. Guest speakers from various professions were invited to talk to the students. The final speaker was a woman in a crisp naval uniform, decorated with medals. Her name was Captain Ramirez, and she was there to talk about her experiences in the Special Forces. As she spoke about discipline, resilience, and the intense training required, she paused and smiled. "These skills aren't just for the battlefield," she said. "They build character that lasts a lifetime. In fact, we have a young woman in this very school who embodies that spirit. She completed one of the most grueling training programs in the world before she was even old enough to vote." A photo appeared on the large screen behind her. It showed a group of determined-looking soldiers in training, covered in mud. In the center was a much younger, but instantly recognizable face. It was Maya. The entire auditorium went silent, jaws dropped. Captain Ramirez continued, her voice filled with pride. Before deciding to finish her education and live a normal life, Maya was on track to become one of the youngest Navy SEALs in history. She passed the initial training, a feat that most seasoned soldiers can't accomplish. Jake, sitting in the audience, felt a cold dread wash over him. He and his friends had been tormenting someone who had endured Hell Week. They had tried to intimidate a girl trained to be an elite warrior. The girl they had targeted wasn't just tough. She was on a level they couldn't even comprehend. After the assembly, the school looked at Maya with a newfound respect, mixed with a healthy dose of all. No one dared to even look at her the wrong way. The whispers that followed her now were not of ridicule, but of admiration. Jake found her by her locker, the same spot where their torment had begun. He looked completely different, humbled, and genuinely scared. "Maya," he began, his voice barely a whisper. I'm so sorry. We had no idea. We were stupid and cruel, and there's no excuse for what we did." Maya looked at him, her expression softening for the first time. She saw not a bully, but a scared kid who had made a terrible mistake. "I know," she said quietly. "Just remember this feeling, Jake. Remember what it's like to feel powerless, and make sure no one else at this school ever has to feel that way because of you." He nodded, unable to meet her gaze. "I will. I promise." From that day on, things at Northgate High changed. Jake disbanded his little group of bullies. He even started using his martial arts skills for good, intervening when he saw others being picked on. He learned the hard way that true strength isn't about how hard you can hit, but about having the character to protect those who can't protect themselves. And Maya, she finally got the normal life she wanted. She made friends, joined the track team, and even went to prom. But everyone knew that beneath her quiet smile was a will of iron and a spirit that could never be broken. She had taught them all a valuable lesson without ever wanting to. Never, ever judge a book by its cover, because you never know when you might be messing with a warrior. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next one.